This video today that I'm making is going to be about a subject very, very important to me. It's called... No one's going to watch it. Today's a very magical day, and today's magic word is... You know, a wise wench once said, anything worth waiting for is worth waiting for. I think she's a bitch. I hate waiting and I hate time taking. Anything that takes time is a waste of time. And there really isn't enough time in the day to be enjoyed. I spend half my time doing this, and the other half doing this. And what time does that leave for games? It doesn't leave any time for games. Which is why when I heard about speedrunning from this guy...
Everyone who speedruns is a degenerate, and getting world records is the only way they can feel good about themselves. Speedrunning is the most degenerate act man has ever come up with.
I instantly knew it was for me.
What's a speedrunner? Someone who beats a game as fast as you possibly can.
And if you have a very large penis, you live stream your runs to thousands of people and show your degenerate face to the world. And you know the females are into it. When I tell them about my SM64 70-star PB, it's like... And that brings me to just why people put themselves through this.
Fucking dumb game! See?
Some people lack things like female attention, adrenaline, you know, respect of their parents. And speedrunning guarantees all of these things. And the more popular the game, the more coveted the record, and the more degeneracy is required to get it. So as far as I could see, I was pretty well poised to go for the top spot in the top game. This game. I fucking grew up with this game. I know what it's all about. I know the hidden moves, the punch, the kick, the spine break. And you know I know this one. So I took a crack at it. I did a nice, calm, respectable, efficient, I fucking quit run. And I got a pretty good time, about 4.5 hours. But after looking at the official rankings, it turns out the record is a little bit faster than that. And the record's currently held by this guy. So I thought, who is this guy? Does he have some kind of secret? If, whilst watching his speedrun, my penis moved, am I gay? It turns out yes. He does have a secret. It's called strats. Strats are the glitches and the tricks used to skip all of this shit that no one wanted to do in the first place. And you know, they are something to live by. If you apply these strats to your own life, you'll find there's very little that can't be speedrun. Be it sleeping, or drinking, or reading, or doing art. But it does make me wonder, are speed and quality different things? No. They're not. A fast game is a good game. Who wants to spend time playing games anyway? Not me. Now some strats save seconds. Some simply save small sections of seconds, solely to snip something off the record. But when a record has stood for centuries, without being challenged, seconds are really sacred. You see, speedrunning kind of straddles the line between tactile skill and software exploitation. It seemed to me that I had some self-improvement to do in terms of speedrunning, so in the pursuit of a respectable time, I learned strategies that would have given my 5-year-old self his first erection. And they go like this. Climbing steep slopes by constantly kicking. Fuck. Long jumping backwards to fuck your way through this door. What the fuck? Just putting a rabbit here to fuck yourself through the door. Going under this elevator to get fucked through the floor. Jumping off our edge to skip the whole level. Killing this baby penguin. 'Cause it's funny. Strategies range wildly in difficulty. There are some very difficult strats that I didn't bother learning. Like this bob-omb thing. And this glitchy fucking thing. And this playing with skill thing. And with all these strats taken into consideration, this is my final time. Pretty fucking admirable. So I sent my footage off to be certified officially by the official board of speedrunning. But for some reason it got rejected. For some bullshit. So I went back and fixed it, but it just made things worse. And now I'm apparently a cheater, which I'm not. And I apparently cheated, which I didn't. And I sure as hell didn't splice anything. There's better ways to cheat, which I don't use. You can hack the game to give you better random chances. You can speed up the footage. You could just lie.
Now the camera's showing and I'm doing miserable. You know what? This stick is really sensitive too here.
Or you could just Photoshop it, which, through detailed audio analysis, some people get caught splicing together the fastest parts from multiple runs, which I would and could and did not do. Alright, I did do it, but only because I wanted reward with minimal work. But aside from me, the real speedrunning heroes are the ones who give birth to the strats.
You just found a break, dude. What did you just do? How did you do that?
Through endless experimentation or just an expert knowledge of the game's code, speedrunners figured out how to beat Super Mario Bros. 3, a game that usually takes about one childhood to beat, in 3 minutes and 4 seconds, using what they call wrong warp, which is a strategy used across multiple games that involves tricking the game into thinking that the area you're about to enter is not the adjacent room, but is actually the end of the game. Only a real degenerate would go into more detail than that. So in the case of Mario, they found out ways to rewrite the game's code by placing certain items in certain positions in certain areas, so their X and Y coordinates would influence values in different bytes of memory. Then by inducing a crash, you could warp directly to the end of the game. But speedrunning does have some mainstream recognition. A guy called Mitch Fowler speedran this game live on the Colbert Show.
My next guest tonight is a video game speedrunner with the world record for beating Super Mario Bros. 3. Please welcome Mitch Fowler. Mitch, thanks so much for being here. All right.
Most amazingly, he got the handshake right, which is not common amongst these people. Unfortunately, it means that anyone who wants to get the record in this game now has to use this strategy. And a run this short doesn't really involve much tension or much stakes.
Your time, the 3:08, it's about the time it takes a human being to cook and eat a Hot Pocket.
In times like this, you'll hear people saying, any percent is dead. And it's true, you know, all the incredible strategies and optimizations discovered over the years become obsolete in the light of this one degenerate glitch.
Mitch starts his game at level 1. Stephen Colbert tears open his Hot Pocket box like a man possessed.
But luckily, any percent is just one of the many categories you can compete in, and it's the only category where absolutely everything is permitted. Some other categories require different levels of completion of a game. Some forbid certain glitches, some forbid glitches altogether, although it's not always agreed upon what constitutes a glitch.
So this is Mirror's Edge glitchless.
So who has world record for this category?
I do.
Wow, really?
Yeah. You can avoid the hard landing animation.
That doesn't sound very legit.
No, but it's not any of the glitches I listed earlier, so it's...
Oh, come on! You
That's
just
okay.
jumped off of midair.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
If you do beat a record, you're only a record holder on this console, on this game, on this difficulty, in this category. Knowing that really dried out my testes. So I lubed up and I went for my next record. And this time it's a record for the first level of GoldenEye for the N64, which is a record so insanely optimized that 128 people got 53 seconds before this guy managed to get 52. So naturally, I went for 51, and I got it, kind of. I only missed by 2 minutes. So I put my head down. I employed some of the best strats, which are going diagonally, looking at the floor so it doesn't lag, getting shot in the ass for a speed boost, and some other things that I couldn't do. And with that, I did get a 51. And so I claimed my position in first place. But it got rejected for no reason other than the colour of my skin. And they just laughed in my face. You know, I don't care. I don't want a record anymore. I do want a record, but just more than anything else. You know what, I'm going to do something that I thought was below me. But you'll fucking see. You know what? I think through all of this I've learned that cheaters never catch a break. And neither do I for some reason. You know, I think speedrunners are pretty amazing. And they're not degenerates. They've just invested their lives into something that society will never give them the credit they deserve for. And there's a real beauty to that, you know?
The only reason we speedrun is because we're too pathetic to accomplish anything else decent in life.
Watching them play is like watching a gymnast. You know you're watching something amazing, but you don't really know why. It breathes life into old games, even shit games. And it kind of injects mundane experiences with a Dark Souls level of tension.
Oh fuck! What the fuck? You can come up here? What the fuck, guys?
Because it does what so few modern games actually intentionally do, and puts your invested time at risk. And suddenly tiny details that developers probably never thought about are now extremely important, and errors in the game's design become game mechanics in themselves. Effectively, it turns games that are relatively easy to master into games that can never be mastered. It raises the skill ceiling to an infinite level. And that is all I've got to say on the subject, which, to be honest, has been fuck all. Thanks for listening.
People thinking speedrunning is cool is the biggest goddamn meme on the planet.